Having started out as a non-playable hidden pallet swap, assumingly named after series co-creators Ed Boon and John Tobias, in reverse at least, few could have predicted in the earliest days of life as a Mortal Kombat character that Noob Saibot would go on to garner the sort of popularity he has. From a narrative perspective, he hasn't ever really been at the forefront of things, playing a secondary antagonistic role every now and then at best, but in spite of the fact that he isn't necessarily among the more prominent Mortal Kombat characters, his shadowy and enigmatic persona has certainly endeared him to a great many fans. When Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns launches not too long from now, Noob Saibot will be stepping into the limelight once again, and ahead of his return to the grand stage, here we're going to go over his entire story over the course of the Mortal Kombat franchise. The franchise, of course, is one that's split across multiple different timelines by now. The one we're starting with is obviously the original one, which didn't actually see Noob Saibot become part of the equation until Mortal Kombat 2. Noob was originally named Bi-Han, a man we all know as the original Sub-Zero, and it was only after he was violently killed by Scorpion, who believed him to be responsible for the death of his family and clan, in the Mortal Kombat tournament, that Bi-Han found himself, or his soul at least, trapped in Netherrealm, where he was transformed and resurrected as Noob Saibot, a shadowy specter with a corrupted and evil heart brought to life by the nefarious Shinnok, whom he now owed his endless and undying allegiance to. From that point forward, Noob Saibot aligned himself with a number of major villains across Mortal Kombat games, from Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 3 to of course Shinnok himself in Mortal Kombat 4. Both of his former masters were defeated, however, and by the time Mortal Kombat Deception rolled around, the undead ninja had developed ambitions of his own. He finds the inert corpse of the cyborg ninja Smoke and reactivates and corrupts him, with plans to use him as the template with which to create an entire army of similar cyborg ninjas. Mortal Kombat Deception also gives us a dramatic face-off between Noob Saibot and Kuai Liang, who of course is not only the person who succeeded Bi-Han as the next Sub-Zero after he died, but is also his younger brother. This particular narrative thread, in fact, continues into the series' next game, Mortal Kombat Armageddon as well, where Sub-Zero is actually able to restore Smoke's memories and bring him back from the proverbial dark side. He is, however, unable to do the same for his brother, and Noob Saibot remains Noob Saibot, Bi-Han more distant than ever. In fact, as this particular universe comes to an end at the end of the game, courtesy of the titular battle between the forces of light and darkness, Noob Saibot is seen fighting on the side of the latter. He dies during the battle, and officially it's unknown who kills him, though many assume that it's Scorpion, which would be a poetic end, of course. From here, we come to Mortal Kombat 2011, which begins an entirely new timeline, having been reset to before the events of the original game in the series as an alternate universe. That of course means that Bi-Han hasn't died and turned into Noob Saibot, and still bears the mantle of Sub-Zero. Scorpion, however, is still very much intent on killing him, since he has been manipulated by the evil sorcerer Quan Chi into believing Sub-Zero is responsible for killing his family in this universe too. That's where Raiden comes in. Raiden is the only one who is vaguely aware of the previous timeline's existence, and knows that there are certain key events that have to be avoided if this new universe is to be prevented from running into the same apocalyptic ending as the previous one. One of these is the death of Bi-Han at the hands of Scorpion. Raiden tells the latter as much, imploring him not to kill his longtime nemesis when the two square off in the upcoming Mortal Kombat tournament, and Scorpion actually agrees. When the two ninjas do face off, Scorpion emerges victorious, and true to his word, he refuses to kill Bi-Han, though Quan Chi's manipulation kicks into gear again, with the sorcerer bombarding Scorpion with visions of his clan and family being killed by Sub-Zero. Enraged by what he's seen, Scorpion ends up breaking his promise to Raiden and kills Bi-Han in the most brutal manner possible, literally ripping his spine and skull from his body. Bi-Han is once again resurrected, brought back as Noob Saibot, only this time by Quan Chi. The shadowy ninja throws his lot in with the villains once again, and over the course of the game's story fights many other characters, including the likes of Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Cabal. Towards the end of his involvement in the story, Noob Saibot has another dramatic encounter with his brother, Kuai Liang, the new Sub-Zero, who incidentally has become Cyber Sub-Zero by this point, thanks to failed attempts to turn him into an evil cyborg. Interestingly enough, the relationship between Sub-Zero and Noob Saibot is much frostier in this timeline, because after a duel during which both are more than a little hostile towards each other, both of them mutually renounce each other as family. Not long afterward, Noob Saibot is killed by Nightwolf, who defeats him in a fight and then kicks him into a Soulnado that he himself helped create with Quan Chi. The Soulnado sucks up Noob Saibot's soul and is destroyed, which ends Noob's role in the story, for a while at least. He doesn't show up in Mortal Kombat X, but Noob Saibot does return in Mortal Kombat 11. Brought back by the Titan Chronica and promised his clan of loyal and obedient shadowy undead beings like himself, Bi-Han once again allies himself with the bad guys. Over the course of Mortal Kombat 11 and its expansion, Aftermath, he fights against several heroes, from Jax, Jackie, and Fujin to of course Scorpion and Sub-Zero. As ever though, things don't go well for the bad guys, and as the rebooted timeline comes to an end, Liu Kang is able to change things drastically for Noob Saibot in particular. Of course, when Liu Kang creates his new era, which is the new timeline that Mortal Kombat 1 takes place in, he changes things drastically for everything and everyone. But that's perhaps truer for Bi-Han more so than most. In Liu Kang's new era, Bi-Han is still Sub-Zero and is the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, while his brother, Kuai Liang, is Scorpion. Shirai Ryu, Scorpion's clan in the previous timelines, never broke off from Lin Kuei at all in Liu Kang's new era, which means Bi-Han was never killed and brought back as Noob Saibot. Or, at the very least, this version wasn't.
Finally, we face a worthy foe. Victory will bring us glory.
Glory? We fight for duty.
Does our father's ghost possess you? All I hear is his voice.
We must honor his vision, Bi-Han.
Vision is what he lacked.
Because, as we know, Noob Saibot is returning in the upcoming expansion Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns. But what exactly is his place in this new universe? By the looks of it, this is the Bi-Han of a different timeline, one whose soul was stolen by Titan Havoc and corrupted and transformed into the shadowy figure known as Noob Saibot. In this new universe, Noob is still very much the enigmatic agent of evil that we've always known him as, though it should be interesting to see how his role changes, based on how drastically different the lives of this universe's Sub-Zero and Scorpion are. These three characters have, after all, always been intrinsically tied to each other in more ways than one. Thankfully, Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns is coming soon, so it won't be long before our questions are answered. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.